Hi guys, Miss Marable here. Good morning. So as you can see, I have understood how to create one of these cool little videos. I really do apologise for my previous videos. They were absolutely awful of me just obviously filming a computer screen. But here we are this morning. So first of all, guys, I wanted to make sure that you were all okay. I've received some emails of students getting a bit stressed out with all of the work. I'll put my hands up, guys. I'm literally giving you textbooks, a PowerPoint, and I'm doing that because I want to make sure that you have everything. That doesn't mean that you need to use absolutely everything, and I really should have made that clearer in my instructions, so I do apologise. So this week I've really streamlined it, hopefully, fingers crossed, and I've made it more simple for you guys to kind of understand what you need to do. So you can either watch this video and then complete the questions on the question sheet, or you can read the textbook and then answer the questions on the question sheet, or you can just go through the PowerPoint on your own and answer the questions on the question sheet. Now, the questions everybody has to answer. They're the absolute basics of the subject knowledge. But on the end, I've put a stretch and challenge, which is an exam question. So if you feel like you are able to, then go ahead with the exam question. So yeah, and basically, if you have fallen behind on anything at all, then just use this format. I'm going to make some videos as well for the previous lessons, so you can just watch those and do those, watch those, sorry, and hopefully they will help you. Okay, so let's go for Akirah today. Now, today is your last lesson of this topic, guys. Woo! And yeah, next week you're going to do some revision. And then a week after that, you will have an end of term exam, end of topic exam. Sorry, it's not end of term, it'll be half term. That will be a quick subject knowledge quiz. It will not be a full exam paper because you did that when you got back from Easter, which was only like 2 weeks ago. Okay, so let's crack on. So I'm going to now share my screen with you. Share. Okay, and hopefully now you can see my PowerPoint. Yay! So as you can see, lesson 8 is the last lesson of the Muslim beliefs topic, and it's called Akirah. And Akirah basically means the afterlife. So I've got some starter questions. What do you believe happens when we die? And why do you believe in this? And then a stretch and challenge question for you guys to be thinking about this morning. Why are there so many different beliefs? Now, if you wanted to, you could literally hit pause on this video, have a think. Maybe go ask whoever you're living with. Mum, what do you believe happens when we die? Dad, little sister, auntie, uncle, whoever. This is an interesting topic to discuss, and this has been discussed and debated for thousands and thousands of years, guys. So today's a really, really exciting lesson. I hope you find it exciting. I find it exciting. So your key things that you need to do, you need to identify and describe Muslim teachings about life after death. All information will be on these PowerPoint slides. And then you need to answer the questions. You need to explain how the Quran shows judgment, paradise and hell, and some to assess the different ways in which Muslim teachings about life after death affect the life of a Muslim today. So this is just a quick little blurby from me, just to remind you, this week we've simplified it, video or textbook or PowerPoint. If you want to combine all of them together, you're more than welcome to. If you are thinking, oh God, Miss Marable, shut up, you just want to stop the video and just work on your own, it's absolutely fine. Do whatever is right for you. And there's really no right or no wrong, just as long as kind of you can answer those questions. The questions are the most important things. Remember to click hand in, and if you've done it on Google Docs, just attach your work, and if you've handwritten it, then just take a photo and upload it. And I've put in capital letters, do not worry about anything, you just give it a go, you're absolutely fine. And remember, we are warriors, not worriers. So let's look at the first key teachings. And these are kind of the overhaul teachings. This relates to question 1 on the question sheet. So I'm literally going to read it and kind of discuss it with you. So Akirah is the term for life after death. Muslims believe that no soul may die except with God's permission at predestined time, and that is referred to the Quran. Now, this links with the belief in Al-Qadar. Now, if you remember, guys, that was a bit of a tricky one. Al-Qadar means predestination. So basically, nobody can die. Their physical body can die without Allah's permission. So Allah has determined when everyone's going to die. Now, I want to make that clear. It's the body that dies. The soul is immortal. The soul will always live on, really similar to Christianity. Okay, second part. Muslims believe our physical life will one day come to an end and that all humans will be raised again in the next life. Now, what they mean by that, guys, is that, you know, it's not going to be Michael Jackson's Thriller with like zombies coming out with their eyes all popping out like, ooh. No, they're kind of thinking about more of a kind of like a glorified body, so that you do need your physical body buried in the ground, and then when the apocalypse happens, the end of the world, we're going to go into that with more detail, the bodies will be raised from the graves and then taken to Allah by the angels, and that's when Allah will decide whether or not you've been a naughty Muslim or a good Muslim. So next part, third paragraph. Some believe this to be a physical resurrection, so humans will be raised again in the next life, which is why Muslims are buried and not cremated. And others believe they are buried out of respect. It is the soul which is taken by Allah, by angel Israel. So some people physical body, some people your soul. Now I've got an image here of the angel Israel. Now you did a lesson on Malika, which are the angels, and you would have explored him there. So hopefully you're like, oh yeah, I remember him. So they literally believe, guys, when it is the end of the world, the angel Israel will come down. He has like a little trumpet, like he blows the trumpet, and then all of these bodies will raise up. Yeah, I find this fascinating. I really, really do. Okay, so the next part. The soul is immortal. We just said that. It doesn't die. And is taken to Barzakh. Now, Barzakh is one of your key questions on the question sheets. Remember that, guys. Barzakh is the stage between death and the time of judgment. So it's a bit like a waiting room. Now, do not confuse that with purgatory. Purgatory is a Catholic belief. And that is where they believe that souls can go to work off sin if they've been a little bit naughty. This is not purgatory. This is basically a waiting room, like the doctor's waiting room, ready to see Allah, to go, okay, right, you've been a very good Muslim, off you go to paradise. Okay, so once the soul has passed this stage, it goes on to the day of judgment, where it is judged by Allah, I just said. And when they are judged, Muslims have to accept the consequences of how they have behaved in their life. They really do believe that nobody will get away with anything. You know, Allah is always watching, or the angels are always watching, yeah? The Kiraman Kataban. They are recording all of your deeds, all of your good deeds in one book, all of your naughty deeds in another book, and then when your soul is presenting to Allah, Allah will look at your books, a bit like Father Christmas, you know, naughty and nice list. And you know, if your good book is more heavier than your naughty book, then you'll go to paradise. Unless, of course, you know, your naughty book's quite small, but you've got some real naughtiness in there, then you're gonna go to hell. Now I've got a little green box here. This is an example of an exam question that you guys could be asked, which is state 3 Muslim teachings about life after death. You can literally just go, one Muslim teaching about life after death, that is called the Akirah. This is Arabic for life after death, and it links into the belief of Al-Qadar, which is predestination. A second key belief is that Muslims believe that our physical life will come to an end, however our soul is immortal and will live on in either heaven or hell. A third key belief is that some believe this to be a physical resurrection, whereas others would believe it's just your souls to be taken to Allah to be judged. Yes, just 3 quick facts. Now, this also relates to the question sheet, question 1, I believe. Now, if you need to pause it, guys, pause me or whatever, you know, and if you want to kind of do the questions as we go along, it's absolutely fine. Do whatever works for you. No biggie. Okay, the next one. This is a diagram that I've stolen from a website. So it's basically showing you what happens. So here's our little man, he's got a beard, he dies 3 times. His soul is now taken by Azrael, the angel of death. Now please note, guys, they've spelt it differently, Azrael. We spell it with an I, they've spelt it with an A. Who can remember why? Well done. It's because it's Arabic, not English. So we have different ways of spelling it. 2 angels question the soul. Has he been naughty? Has he been nice? And then the soul enters Barzakh, a state of waiting until the day of judgment. They've got quote. Quote alert. Quotes are really important. So then they will say, who will bring us back? Say, the one who created you the first time. From the Quran Surah. That's a really good quote, guys. That again relates to one of the questions on the question sheet. Make sure you've got it. Really important. You need to memorize that for your test. Okay, so now we're going to look at the 3 key beliefs of judgment, paradise, and hell. So now we're going to look at judgment. So judgment is also known as mi'ad. Who remembers the word mi'ad? Where is it from? Well done. It's the 5 roots of Shia Islam. So one of Allah's characteristics is omniscience. What does that mean? All-knowing. Well done. Therefore, Allah is aware of everything a person has done and so can judge them fairly. Those who have been good will go to Al-Jannah. Al-Jannah is the Arabic word for paradise. And those who have sinned or committed shirk, who remembers what shirk is? Well done. It's worshipping anything other than Allah. Yeah, that's completely wrong. No, Allah is number 1. Don't worship anything else. You will go to Jahannam. Jahannam is hell. Source of wisdom. Here we go. Quote. When the hour arrives, on that day, people will be separated. Those who believed and did good deeds will delight in a garden, while those who disbelieved and denied our messages will be brought to torment. So that quote is essentially saying, you know, if you've been good, you're going to have a great time in gardens of bliss, you know, heaven, Al-Jannah. However, if you've been naughty, then no, sorry, off you go. You're going to be tormented in hell. Okay, paradise, next one. So as we know, guys, it's called Al-Jannah. Now, Muslims believe they go to paradise by living religiously, asking Allah for forgiveness and showing good actions in their life. These good actions will be rewarded on the last day, the apocalypse. Therefore, obeying the rules set by Allah is of ultimate importance. That's why they read the Quran, they pray 5 times a day, they do the 5 pillars of Islam. If they're Sunni, they believe in the 6 articles of faith. If they're Shia, they believe in the 5 roots. Next bullet point. Muslims believe there are 7 levels of heaven, although 7 is interpreted by some Muslims as simply many. So already I got this divergent of belief system. You've already got the divergent about resurrection. Is it physical? Is it just soul? And here, oh, is it 7 layers or is it many? And when you're evaluating, here is now the D question coming in here, guys, thinking about your exam skills. These are really good ways to critically analyse these beliefs. You could say that this is a weakness to this argument, the fact that Muslims cannot agree on what heaven is or what resurrection is. And therefore, if they cannot agree, this leads us to question the validity of these beliefs and these arguments. However, on the other hand, maybe not. Maybe these different interpretations actually shows what a freeing religion Islam is. And really, religion and spirituality is individual to that person. And therefore, however you believe doesn't really affect the authenticity of those claims, but in fact strengthens the belief in this religion. Now, year 9 or year 10. If you have listened to me have that debate and you're like, I ain't got a clue what you're talking about, Miss Marable, don't worry, move on. If you are going for the grade 9 and 8 and 7, these are the kinds of questions that you need to be having in your D question, okay? Now, moving on. Each heaven is made of a different material and a different prophet lives in each heaven. What is the Arabic word for prophet? Well done, it's Nabuwa. Nabuwa. Now, the first heaven is made of silver and is where Adam and Eve live. Abraham lives in the 7th heaven in a place made of divine light. What is the Arabic word for Abraham? Ibrahim. Well done. You now got a quote. They will have gardens of everlasting bliss, graced with flowing streams. They will be adorned with bracelets of gold. They will wear green garments of fine silk. They will be comfortably seated on soft chairs. What a blessed reward! What a pleasant resting place. I love that quote. It's lovely. Get to know that quote. Again, you are going to be using that all over the place. You could get a question like, explain why Muslims should be peaceful. Muslims should be peaceful because they will be rewarded in Al Jannah, gardens of everlasting bliss, because peace is a fundamental belief of Islam, and Islam means peace. So you can use this quote to back up key subject knowledge of whatever the question is. Next, hell. Now, hell is called Jahannam. And I say it like Jahannam like that, a bit scary, because it helps me remember what it means. So, hell is described as a place of fire and torment. Jahannam is a place of scorching fire pits and boiling water, a place of physical and spiritual suffering. Vivid descriptions of hell are used in the Quran as a way to stop Muslims from participating in sin. So if you kind of look at religion as a sociological point of view, and not even a sociological point of view, I'm reading a fantastic book at the moment called Living Judaism, written by a rabbi. Really good book, guys, on Judaism if you're interested in it. And the rabbi says that even in Judaism, in Islam, in Christianity, hell was needed to make sure that people were adhering, they were following all of the laws set, as in don't kill people, don't have sex with people that you're not married to, do not steal from people. You know, the basic fundamental rules that we need to live as a happy human. Back then, we needed hell, we needed heaven to make sure that we were scared of going to hell if we broke any of these rules. So really, that kind of comes from that understanding of we need maybe perhaps some guidelines, some boundaries in order for us to be good humans. That's what religion wants us to be. Second bullet point, sorry. Muslims believe that they will be sent to hell if they reject the teachings of the Quran or take no responsibility for their actions. Either of these would mean that they had failed Allah's test. God, you can tell I haven't talked in a while, can't you? I'm losing my voice. I get that bullet point. You want to critically deconstruct that. Is that fair? I don't know. Muslims believe they will be sent to hell if they reject the teachings of the Quran. Okay, what does that mean for me? I am Miss Marable. I was not raised as a religious person. Does that mean Allah is going to send me to hell because I am not Muslim and I've rejected Muhammad's message? Because I know about Islam, I'm a religious education teacher. Is that a merciful God? Is that a benevolent God? And these are the questions that you can ask in your essays. Third one, some Muslims believe that even the souls in hell can eventually be sent to paradise. Okay, so maybe some Muslims will be like, all right, Miss Marable, you're actually a really good human. You know, you are spreading God's word as an RE teacher. Maybe, you know, you'll go to hell for a little bit and then you can go to paradise. Again, lots of different interpretations. This is where you have the debate in that evaluation question, that D question. Quote alert. Okay, those who balance is light will have lost their souls forever and will stay in hell. The fire will scorch their faces and their lips will be twisted in pain. So if you compare that to the quote on Al Jannah, gardens of everlasting bliss, you know, do you ever want your face burnt and your lips twisted, or do you want to be in a nice garden getting your suntan on? I know what I'd prefer. Okay, now this one's important. How does the belief in Akirah affect Muslims today? So we had a D question on an exam paper. It said, if there is no Akirah, then religious teachings are meaningless. And this really needed you to use all of this subject knowledge to say, well, okay, so the belief in Akirah is this, Al Jannah, paradise, gardens of everlasting bliss, and you know, the angel Israel will come and, you know, judging your soul. So therefore, yeah. you need religion and you need these beliefs in order to make sure that people behave. And then you can back it up with all this kind of stuff affecting Muslims today. So, yes, it does affect them because both Sunni and Shia include Mi'ad, the Day of Judgment, in their core beliefs. So, the 6 beliefs of Islam and the 5 roots of Al-Din for Shia. It impacts the way Muslims treat one another as they know they will be judged. So, but again, have the debate. What about ISIS? What about the Taliban? What about Al Qaeda? They think they're doing the right thing because they've been radicalized, but they're killing innocent people. Therefore, they're going to go to hell. But they know this. They know that you can't kill innocent people. Now, you're going to do another topic called peace and conflict. That is where we kind of really get into the teachings of the Quran about how could they actually interpret the Quran to actually say, yeah, okay, go kill people. And that's a really interesting topic. But for now, you can bring up those questions, how it doesn't make sense. Therefore, Akirah is not a very strong belief because you still have lots of evil people doing evil things. Thirdly, it affects Muslims as it offers hope for a better life in times of suffering. So I have a friend called Shalina. She's a devout Muslim, and unfortunately, when she became pregnant with her first child, she had a miscarriage. And also, she lost her first husband. So she was married and then he died. And she says she went through immense suffering during this lifetime. But the thing that makes her holding on for hope is the fact that, okay, I've suffered in this life, and therefore I'm going to be rewarded in my eternal life. I'm going to go to paradise. Because I've, instead of kind of, rejecting my faith, my husband is dead. How dare you, Allah? You've taken him from me. Therefore, I'm not going to be a Muslim anymore. She didn't do that. Instead, she embraced it even more. She built her connection with Allah. It helped her to understand, well, he's in a better place now. He was a good person. Perhaps his time was brought shorter because he's been rewarded. And that was allowed her to process that. So really, from a psychological point of view, Akirah is really beneficial for hope. Some would argue. Okay, the next one for Shia. They must follow the 12 imams who taught that worship is more than just praying, but how you conduct yourself. So when Mi'ad arrives, they are ready to be judged. That's a Shia only one. That's a really good one for your divergent claims. And then the last point, guys, for Sunni, they follow the Quran and the 5 pillars of Islam and try to do good around the world. So Shia, they listen to the Quran, but also the 12 imams. Because remember, guys, their imams are the God-given leadership who lead the Shia Muslims, and they are the minority. They're the 10%. Whereas for Sunni, who are the 90%, they're the larger sect of Islam. They strictly follow the Quran, 5 pillars, and Muhammad. Okay, so that is the end of the content. So just to recap, my friends, Akirah, Afterlife, Barzakh is the waiting room, Angel Israel with his trumpet collects the souls. Here you go, Allah, judge them. They are judged. Mi'ad is the Arabic word for Day of Judgment. You got, when they judge, of course, it's about looking at the books and analysing their deeds. Then you've got heaven, Al Jannah, paradise, good Muslim, comfy chairs. Then you've got Jahannam, hell, scorched face, twisted lips, naughty Muslim, shirk. And then how does it affect them? Okay, both Sunni and Shia are really, really important. 5 roots of Al-Din, and it's the 6 beliefs. For Sunni, they follow the Quran. For Shia, this is 12 imams, and the Quran, but 12 imams as well. It offers hope, and it impacts the way they treat one another. Exam practice if you want to. Now, if that's just too much and you're fine, you're going to now do the questions. Wicked. Crack on, guys. Do it all on Google Docs or handwrite it, whatever you're comfy with, but make sure you hand in and you attach your work so you can see it. And then if you want to stretch and challenge yourself, brilliant. If there is no Akirah, religious teachers are meaningless. There we go. And you can do that exam question, send it in to us. Here is some guidance for how to do that, guys. Now, your first argument, give me a reason why, yes, you agree, and then you need to appraise it. Now, Miss Blatch thought of a really good way of actually, instead of going strength, weakness, think about what went well and even better if about that argument that you gave. Then you do it again. Another viewpoint, lots of subject knowledge, and then deconstruct it. What went well with this argument? And then what could be improved? What's the weakness? What could actually be better than what they have just said? And in your conclusion, you look at your two arguments with your little strengths, weaknesses of each, so they're really fully appraised, and you decide which one makes the most sense. Okay? And then you explain why. Here's a little answer sheet planning thing that can help you as well. Keywords. Guys, this is just to help you. So don't think, oh my God, I need to memorize all these words. No, stop stressing. Stop stressing yourself out. This is just to help you. Yeah. Again, this is just to help you. Don't stress. Ignore it if you want to. And lovely. Right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Now it's going back to me, I think. Don't know. How do I work this? Here we go. Hi. Okay, so any questions, email us, talk to us. It's absolutely fine. And don't stress out. You're fine, guys. Make sure you go outside. It's a nice day today, nice weather this week. And if it helps, don't stick to your timetable. If you've got an hour of English and an hour of maths and an hour of science, I think when you just sit down and you try to get your head around it by reading the instructions, that hour is gone. So instead, I would really recommend do a morning of maths and then a morning of an afternoon of science, and then do your other subjects as well. A morning of RS and then your afternoon of whatever. And break it up, because I think if you stick to your timetable, it's going to be a nightmare. So do whatever works for you. As long as the work is done, guys, we don't care. We know it's difficult. I mean, I can barely get myself motivated as well. We're all human beings. So please don't beat yourself up. You're doing an amazing job. Of course, if you have fallen behind, then please, you do need to know this content. So just try your best. And next week, it will just be revision. So if you have fallen behind, that would be a really good time to go through everything. If you've been able to keep up with everything, brilliant, and you're feeling great, maybe have a week off. Shh, I didn't say that. No, do a bit of revision, of course, do a bit of studying. Because a week after next week, you will have a test on this subject knowledge, okay? There's so much great stuff on telly as well, like documentary-wise. Go on YouTube. Just don't click on anything to do with ISIS or the Taliban or Al Qaeda, because of course they should be banned, but don't do that. Remember, Islam is a religion of peace and love. Okay, cool. I'm going to shut up now. You know what I'm like for talking. Have a lovely day. If you need us, let us know. How do I stop this? Stop recording. There we go.